This is my story, the story of a father, a man who gave everything he had to raise his daughter, only to learn one night that even the strongest bonds can be broken. I never thought I would share this, but maybe if I do, someone out there will understand the pain I carry. I never imagined this day would come, the day my own daughter told me I was a burden. I had given her everything, raised her with my hands, worked countless hours so she could have a life I never had. And yet, in a single moment, it all seemed meaningless. Family, I thought, meant forever. But that night I learned how fragile love can be. I had lived in Oregon for decades, building a life, raising her alone, making sacrifices that left me exhausted and lonely. And now, she wanted me gone. The rain tapped softly against the windows as I packed my small suitcase, trembling with disbelief. Flashbacks of laughter, bedtime stories, first steps, and hugs flickered in my mind. Every memory felt like it was slipping through my fingers, leaving me cold and hollow. The argument started like so many before: tension, frustration, minor disagreements. But it escalated in ways I never anticipated. She stood before me, arms crossed, her face contorted with anger, and with a force I will never forget, she threw my suitcase at me. "You're holding us back!" "Move out!" she shouted, her voice sharp and unforgiving. I froze, my heart shattering with every word. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every moment I had given to ensure her happiness, erased in a single instant. The suitcase hit the floor with a deafening thump, echoing in the otherwise quiet house, as the rain intensified outside. I could barely process what had just happened. My daughter, the person I had loved and protected above all else, had turned against me completely. I walked out into the stormy Oregon night, heart heavy, mind numb. I thought I was alone, but the darkness seemed alive. Shadows stretched unnaturally across the wet pavements, and whispers brushed my ears, fleeting and unintelligible. I told myself it was just a storm, just the isolation, just the exhaustion playing tricks on my mind. But the feeling of being watched never left me. Every step I took, the sense of a presence behind me grew stronger, more deliberate. The streetlights flickered as if struggling against the fog that thickened with every passing moment. I could almost hear my own name being whispered in the wind, soft and distorted, but I shook my head and kept moving. Eventually, I found a small motel to rest, hoping for warmth, comfort, and some semblance of safety. But the room was cold, the lights flickered unpredictably, and the shadows moved in ways that made no sense. Every mirror reflected something wrong, or perhaps I just didn't want to see what was real. I tried to sleep, but footsteps outside my door came and went, soft yet purposeful, always stopping just when I glanced through the peephole. I told myself it was paranoia, the product of heartbreak and exhaustion. Yet deep down, I knew I was being followed. The whispers persisted, growing clearer, calling my name with urgent insistence. Shadows seemed to linger, refusing to let me rest, invading the corners of my vision in subtle but unmistakable ways. The following nights blurred together. I couldn't escape the feeling of being watched, of something encroaching upon my life, my very existence. The shadows followed me relentlessly, sometimes behind me, sometimes in mirrors and reflections, always just out of full view. I questioned my sanity. Was it guilt? Was it the culmination of heartbreak and loneliness? Or was something far worse at work? Small flashes of memory, my daughter laughing, playing, calling my name, appeared in the corners of my vision, distorted and fleeting. Each time I tried to rationalize it, but a growing dread filled every step I took. It felt as if the shadows were learning me, becoming familiar with my habits, my fears, my regrets. I could no longer pretend the presence was imaginary. I had to face it, to confront whatever was following me. One fog-drenched night, I stepped into the street, heart hammering, sweat mixing with rain. And there it was, or maybe I imagined it, a dark figure at the edge of my vision, moving with me, watching me, responding to me. My instincts screamed to run, but I couldn't. Fear, guilt, despair, they had frozen me in place. I saw shapes and reflections that shouldn't have been there, figures appearing and vanishing almost instantly, and the whispers grew louder, calling my name in distorted tones that made my skin crawl. The fog thickened, enveloping me in a world where nothing was certain, nothing was safe. And then I realized the terrifying truth. It wasn't just following me, it was becoming part of me. Every shadow, every whisper, every step I took had begun to merge with my being. I tried to scream, but no sound came. I ran blindly through the streets, seeking a way back to my daughter, to apologize, to explain, to reclaim some fragment of my humanity. But the path home had vanished. The houses, the street lights, the familiar signs of my life, all gone. I felt its cold, heavy touch, and for the first time, I understood. It had enveloped me completely. I was no longer separate from it. I was part of it. The suitcase I had left behind sat in the rain, abandoned, a silent testament to my disappearance. If you are watching this, know this. Sometimes the people we love reject us. Sometimes we are left alone to face the dark corners of the world. And sometimes far worse things follow when we leave. I do not know if what followed me was a shadow, a ghost, a punishment, or my own guilt made manifest. I only know that I am no longer the person I once was, and I fear I never will be. And so, I vanish into the mist, leaving behind nothing but whispers, shadows, and the echo of a life that once
This is
mattered.
my